Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading A Katsuki Listener by me, so let's get into it. It's a typical autumn afternoon. Crisp air, golden leaves, and you find yourself walking towards the Bakugou residence. A routine visit to hang out with Katsuki. You texted him earlier, and though his replies were short and snappy, a little bit like always, something about them had felt off. Maybe it was the extra hour it took him to reply, or maybe it was just your gut instinct, but you knew something wasn't right. The moment you stepped inside, the feeling grew stronger. Katsuki's usually impeccable house is a little messy. Empty water bottles litter the coffee table, and his favorite blanket is thrown carelessly over the couch. It doesn't look like him, and you find him in the living room, sprawled on that very couch, wearing his usual scowl, but his face is flushed, his hair slightly damp, as if he had just woken up from a very rough sleep. He's staring at the TV, but his eyes are glazed over. "Hey," you say softly, walking up to him. "You alright?" "Yeah, I'm fine," he mutters, avoiding your gaze. His voice is raspy, much lower than usual, and there is a slight tremor when he speaks. You raise an eyebrow, sitting on the edge of the couch beside him, completely unconvinced. "You don't look fine." Katsuki rolls his eyes, forcing himself to sit up straighter, though he immediately winces, clutching his head. "I said I'm fine, just tired." And you narrow your eyes, because he looks anything but fine. His skin is flushed, his eyes glassy and unfocused, and you reach out to touch his forehead before you can pull away. And the heat radiating from his skin confirms your suspicion. "You're burning up," you say, your concern evident in your voice. He jerks back, scowling harder, but it's weaker than usual. "It's nothing. Don't." He cuts off with a cough, one that sounds deep and painful, and you flinch just hearing it. "Right. Nothing. You're sick, Katsuki." "I'm not." His starts, but his voice cracks, and he has to clear his throat, coughing again. His whole body shudders from the effort, and you can see the fatigue in his movements. You frown. "Why didn't you tell me?" His glare softens just a little bit, his eyes flicking to the floor. "Don't need anyone fussing over me. I can handle a stupid cold." You sigh, shaking your head. "Of course you can, but that doesn't mean you have to. You don't have to suffer through it alone. You have me. Let me help you." He stays silent for a moment, and you can see the internal battle he's having. Katsuki's pride is massive. Accepting help is not something he does easily. But you also know he trusts you, and there is a softness in his eyes when he looks at you that he doesn't show anyone else. "I don't need you to treat me like a damn weakling," he mutters, but there's no real heat in his voice. "I won't. You promise?" Your lips curving into a small smile. "I'll just be here, okay?" He hesitates before nodding slightly, still avoiding your gaze. "Whatever. Just don't make a big deal out of it." You nod, standing up and heading to the kitchen to grab him some water. "Stay put," you call over your shoulder, "and don't even think about moving." When you come back, He sunk deeper into the couch, eyes half lidded, as if he's fighting to stay awake. You kneel down beside him, holding out the glass of water. Drink, he says softly. He takes it with a grumble, but immediately drinks, his hands shaking slightly as he holds the glass. You watch him carefully, your heart aching at the sight of him looking so vulnerable, something he would never allow. He's always been so strong, so self-reliant, but right now he just looks tired and vulnerable. You're stubborn, you know that? Look who's talking, he says, shooting you a weak glare, and you can't help but laugh softly. I'm serious. You don't always have to be strong, Katsuki. It's okay to take a break, even if just a little one. I don't like being weak, he mutters, barely audible. You're not weak. Just because you're not being strong right now, it doesn't make you instantly the opposite. You just need a little bit of rest. Everyone needs rest. It just makes you human. And for a long moment, he's quiet, his breathing slowing as he relaxes under your care. And after a while, he speaks again, his voice soft. Thanks for coming over. You smile, gently squeezing his hand. Of course. I'll always be here when you need me, Katsuki. He doesn't respond, but his hand tightens around yours, his eyes closing as he finally lets himself rest. You stay by his side the entire time, watching over him, because you knew him very well, and you knew what was in his heart, even though he would never say it. Because even though he will not say it, he'd never admit it out loud. He appreciates you more than words can express, and he needs this. He needs this care and attention, even if he's too embarrassed to say it. And you were more than willing to hand it to him.